There's a lot to talk about Amazon stock on 27th September, so stay focused as we go through recent news as well as my chart analysis. But before we do that, subscribe to our channel Stocks 101 for regular stock market updates. First up, Jeff and team have decided to hold another Prime sale in October, and it will be the second Prime sale of 2022. Competitors like Walmart and Target will also start their holiday sales earlier than expected, and analysts think that it's good news for customers as companies work to clear out outstanding inventories. This is an alerting factor, however, as it hints that Amazon and e-com giants are fearing a bad time ahead for the US economy. And this brings us to a new potential corporate tax system, which suggests that a 15% tax should be levied on companies, which would hit the Amazon stock the most. Going into more detail, Amazon is suffering with the entire market as the Federal Reserve is constantly hiking interest rates in order to tackle inflation, allowing new age investors to get in at good prices. And considering Amazon's beta, which stands at 1.33, the stock is not that risky for the long term. With that in mind, let's analyze the charts. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-day chart for Amazon, and as always, we'll analyze the 1-day chart, the 1-hour chart, and the 5-minute chart to end it off. Now, right off the bat, you guys can see that the stock seems to be making somewhat of a reverse head and shoulder pattern over here with the entire market. If we take this level around $137.6 as a neckline, we can see that we made somewhat of a shoulder over here, and now we're about to make a head over here, and we'll probably make another shoulder over here in a few days, right? So that indicates that Amazon is in a bullish trend on the short term as well, because we will probably get up over here, right? So this might be a good point to buy or accumulate around the $115, $110 range. I told you guys in my previous analysis that the stock would go down in the short term after taking resistance around this level around $124, I believe, right? That was the level that I gave you, so that as you guys can see, it acted up over here. I used that as support over here on this 15th September candle as well, and it worked. So now I believe that we might face resistance over here going up, right? So we'll probably take this negative candle, after that a green candle tomorrow, maybe another green candle, then a red candle, another green candle. Now remember that whenever you get two green candles and a red candle, that probably indicates a bull run, and you can use the same thing vice versa. So if you get two red candles and one green candle, that might be the indication of another bearish trend. So if we talk about the short-term prediction for Amazon, I believe that the stock has now finally turned bullish, and it might be able to get out of the entire, Fed hiking interest rate trap. So we might be able to hit the $124 level by like 5 or 6 October, I believe. And once that is done, we'll probably take some resistance over here, and then we might go up. Once we go up, again, I already told you guys that it's a head and shoulder pattern. So we will come down to these levels, make another shoulder around this support, and after that, around from the $125 support, we might go up and break this $137, $138 resistance. Once we break that, I believe that a good target for the Amazon stock would be $150 by the end of this year, maybe, right? And that's only if the situation improves, of course. And if it doesn't, then $137, $135 should be a good target by the end of this year. With that being said, let's get into more detail by jumping into the 1-hour chart. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 1-hour chart, and we'll start the analysis from 19th or 20th September because that's where we left off, I believe. So as you guys can see, we opened in a gap down on 20th September, and we got somewhat of an insider candle, after which, as you guys can see, we did get a rejected over here around this level. That was pretty much our yesterday's last candle's beginning, which was around 124.36, $124.35. After that, as you guys can see, we got a pullback into this range over here between 122.75 and $121. So after that, we did break out of that range over here on 1st September. We did get massive volume. Right after that, as you guys can see, we did open another gap down, and we can see that we were getting a lot of buying pressure, but the bears were eventually winning. Here on 22nd September, I believe that the entire market performed poorly after this, right? So we can see that we did get a lot of selling pressure, and this was a pin bar candle that indicated another bullish trend, or rather, I'm sorry for that, another bearish trend. And as you guys can see, it did prove correct in the next day. After that, on 26th September, we did get a lot of volume, and we got somewhat of a green engulfing candle, which indicates that this might be the starting of, somewhat of a bullish trend. After that, we did get a huge candle in the reds over here. We did get a small pin bar candle in the reds over here. But overall, I believe that, as we're getting these candles, these green candles, right, and we're holding these support levels over here around $115, we should be pretty good as long as we don't, break below $115 and this low we made over here around, what was this, $112. With that being said, let's analyze today's charts closely in the 5-minute chart. So as you guys can see right here, we're now in the 5-minute chart for Amazon. And first, we'll quickly analyze the stock from the 21st September performance. As you guys can see, we did get some massive volatility over here. But right off the bat, you guys can see that the stock was pretty much range bound over here in this range between 122.75 and 121.87, right? So we already discussed that. After that, we got some huge selling pressure in this candle around 2 p.m. After that, we did get a recovery from this accumulation zone of, under $120. We did push up to this high of 123.72, or rather 75, I guess, right? But then it has been bearish ever since. And on 22nd September, we already know that the market was first range bound and then extremely volatile and ended up in indicating a bearish movement. So we can clearly see that these ranges were acting up pretty well. $118.25, $116.25, right? These $2 ranges were acting pretty well. And now even if we look at today's chart, or rather 26th September's chart, we can see that this range over here between 116.25 and 114.75 has been acting up, and we did break above this. So I believe that we'll probably challenge this resistance now. We might fail for a few times, but we will eventually break out of this because I'm bullish on Amazon for the short term. So if I were to take a trade over here in Amazon, I personally would be buying the stock with a stop loss somewhere around this low that we made around $112, right? I don't believe that we'll probably break that anytime soon if we want to complete a good head and shoulders pattern. And even if we look at this chart over here, we can see some similarities in a head and shoulders pattern on the reverse side, right? So we can clearly see that we just hit this neckline over here, so we might be in for making another shoulder. So I believe that the stock will end the day off somewhere around in this range, around $117, instead of going over here. But anything is true since the market can get volatile. So remember that this is not financial advice and you should always do your own research before you trade. If, however, you enjoyed my analysis, be sure to hit the like button. If you did not enjoy it, be sure to hit the dislike button. And as always, you can subscribe to our channel Stox 101 for more such videos. And I will see you guys in the next one.